we're back. Hi guys, who says good things don't come to those who wait? So the Galaxy S20 pre-orders are up, and if you place a reservation at the link below, I'm glad to bring these deals to you. You get $35 at Samsung.com for all their accessories, and you don't have to commit to buying. It's a win-win scenario, because if you like the Galaxy S20 presentation that's coming out, you like the new camera and all those upgrades that they helped convince us, then you can actually pre-order it, go through your cashback sites, trade in your phones, get all those deals, and you just get an additional $35. If you don't want it, then just don't buy it. But just go ahead and put in your reservation now so you can get an extra $35 for the Samsung Galaxy Buds or whatever accessory that you want from Samsung.com. Alright, so let's jump into the 1 year later for the Galaxy Fold. A lot of you have asked how it's held up over this time, and I want to be honest with you guys, it's held up perfectly fine. The front screen is just simply too small for my taste, and having to choose whether to use this or open it up into the larger screen, I would say it hasn't been as smooth as I'd liked it to be, and I don't use this phone anymore. I just want to be straight up honest with you guys. I don't use this phone as my day-to-day driver probably since the beginning of January, and I felt it happening, and it's mainly because first, just the form factor, the second being all the new phones that are coming out. I have pre-orders for the Razr and all the Surface Duo that's gonna be my new phone coming forward, and the fact that I have extreme muscle memory for this Slate type, or just a traditional type of smartphone. Here's a Galaxy S10 Plus. First, let's jump into how it's held up over time. Look here, the screen is still perfect. There's no dead pixels, there's no dead space. You still see that crease in the middle. It hasn't gotten worse over time. So that's very important to note. Once you ignore it, and for me, it has never bothered me. It can be an eyesore for those who haven't seen the device up close, but by now it's out there. It's never bothered me. It's very apparent, and it's still a plastic screen. Maybe future versions will have the glass. The second, if we look here, the case, I didn't have to buy a screen protector. You're not supposed to put one on, and it came with a case on the outside that adds good grip. So you can see here that none of this is scratched. It's still in perfect condition, more or less the way I bought it on day one. Almost a few months ago, and the main thing is the creakiness of the hinge that has increased over time, so that's probably my main concern. I think it'll show up probably maybe 3 years from now if I were to keep smashing it into like my pockets day to day. You can see if you look closely, it's just all this lint everywhere because I have been using this device. So it has held up, and for those who like the large screen, I think you're in for a treat. I think you even like this. Why I like this probably better than the Moto Razr, we get to test it, I'll hold judgment, but the larger screen size is what really draws people into this device. It's still a head turner, and it's still held up over time. In all honesty, I don't use this camera too much because the iPhone 11 Pro and the Pixel's cameras are just that much better, and I'd rather just use that as my daily shooter. It does have the wireless charging back here, so I have used all that stuff, but I've slowly transitioned to waste. I want to talk about productivity. The form factor was always what stopped me slowly from using this as my main driver in these recent months, because think of when you get a text message while you're driving, or while you're working, or you're walking to your commute or your bus, you get an email, a fire drill from work, you have those quick milliseconds on how to respond to it. So say I have my regular phone and I got a text, an emergency call. I have to pick it up here and respond to that email or that call right away. I know that this is the only way to interact with this device, right? If on the Galaxy Fold here, this screen on the front is simply just too small to be this main driver. Like if you had it this size, that'd be great. If it was this size, I could actually use it productively. But here it's too small, and so I have to pull it out and I have to decide right then and there, do I want to respond to this text right away on the small screen, or do I have the capacity, what's in my left hand, to open it up? Am I busy, or can I do this kind of weird spider kind of hand-like motion that it shows you in other videos to really act it? So over time, I want you to ask yourself this question: how many times do you pick up your phone every single day? How much times are you checking it? Or checking it over like 100 times per day. So over 100 times per day, I was always making this decision. And I went skiing recently. I wanted to pull out my phone really quickly. I had the ski glove on, had another ski glove on, and I needed to just take a quick photo of kind of like the mountain skyline where we were at. And that made it kind of hard using this device because of a couple things. First, it isn't that portable, so I had to pull it out, and the camera isn't that strong for taking pictures, and say I had to make a quick call all the way up in the mountain, I had to take off my glove. I need to use it in one-handed mode, so I only have this small screen, and it's snow, it's rain, it's sleet out there, so it's not IP67 waterproof rated or anything like that. So all those compounding factors kind of hurt just the daily efficiency of this device's productivity. So I can get a mail or a text and respond to it really fast, probably 85% speed, but with an iPhone or with the Android phone like a Galaxy like this, having just a slight form factor and the muscle memory there, I'd say about like 100% efficiency. That's just the way it is. That's me being honest with you guys of how I really use the phones, especially going through and prepping for reason number 2, all the new hardware that's coming out. So I'm preparing for the Galaxy S20, preparing for, let's just say, the newest iPhone's coming out or the newest Microsoft Surface phone that's gonna come out, the dual screen one. So that is a big deciding factor for me, and I'm slowly just gonna be transitioning away from this device. I just won't use it anymore 1 year out as I try to see what's the best foldable device with the Moto Razr. Number 3 is just like I said, the muscle memory. Don't discount. If a form factor isn't broke, don't fix it. So the Moto Razr is gonna challenge this because it's a small enough phone, it's this size, palmability, and you can have it. So that might fix the muscle memory that we all have in terms of our comfort just messaging with one hand while we're walking, putting our heads down on the subway or using the Moto Razr. On this guy, on the other hand, it's always the quick decision, the really, really small screen, or do I have to flip it open to use it? So just preparing for new phones, I'm just going to transition away from this, and that muscle memory is super important. The last one is reliability. It rains here in Seattle a lot, so even though I haven't broken this device, it's because I exercise a little more caution with it, or I'm just a little more, I recognize the rain more. Like, you know, sometimes I don't bring my phone, like, I don't know, in the shower or something like that because I want to play like some music, and you just can't bring it to that. Not that you should abuse the phone or throw it in water or anything, but just those little like mists and stuff like that. Always be like super aware for this. So it just started to compound month after month, day after day as I used it, and then slowly one day I just put it back into this Galaxy S10 or put it back into my iPhone for the better photos. Alright, so let's talk about previewing for the Surface phone that's coming out, the Surface Duo. Alright, so for the Surface Duo, it's going to be having a launcher, and for those who like the Pixel, you have the launcher, or the Samsung One UI, you can preview what the Surface Duo is going to look like. Because with Microsoft Launcher, download the Microsoft Launcher Preview app and you can use your phone in landscape mode. I know that Nova Launcher already has something similar to this, but it's great that Microsoft Launcher has this because they've really just doubled down on productivity tasks, to-do lists for the day, Outlook calendar integration, on the left side, adding your friends and contacts, or just like organic, nice touches, add a nice home screen skin on top of Android. And I quite like it because of its simplicity, where it's just straightforward. It knows it's optimized apps. I don't have to make too many decisions. I can use Bing powered wallpaper. So this is a Bing wallpaper here. It's search bar, and just your standard apps, and how these apps, if you look right here, they either dock on the right side or on the left side of the device. And obviously it's not a full preview because this is a foldable one screen, but it's meant to be able to snap apps on the left or snap apps on the right, or just concept images. And, you know, you can look at the Surface the Duo over there, but it's going to launch with the power of Microsoft Launcher, and this preview is a great way to see what it looks like in landscape mode, given that for those who do have the fold, how it's held up. 1 year out, if you're debating buying this and you really want the big screen real estate, this is still the phone for you, because it's still, I use this as like, you know, a tablet if I'm on the couch now, because it still has this widescreen real estate, and people still treat this as a tablet. So if I'm taking orders and stuff, it looks like I'm immersed in this tablet mode, and I can just take, you know, orders, listen to people on the phone, and write down on a bigger form factor. As a daily driver and phone, that's where the weakness was, putting on GPS, responding to fire drills or mills all the time. I got really used to the slates, that's why I transitioned over. But this has held up as a larger screen. It's still a very capable phone. It just is about 85% of the speed or efficiency for us power users who go through life day to day, second by second, who need to get things done. This is a great device for it, but you have to be confident in what way you want to use this phone. If you're permanent, like if you're gonna say, I'm never gonna use the front screen, then you know that immediately you have to take it and you open it and you can use it. But for me, I was always in these situations where I have to make these micro decisions and decide. Photos are great, the ultra-wide camera is great. You've seen all my photo reviews for that. They've held up, just it's not as good as the iPhone or the Pixel phone line. So I'm just using it as screen real estate, and if I'm a Samsung fan, I'd love to have this, and I just can't wait to see what the next upgrades are on this device. So maybe thinner glass on here, so it's not this like plastic where you can't press hard or anything like that. But just general care, general wear and tear, general use, you'll be totally fine with this device. I know that the launch was kind of convoluted and kind of messed up and delayed, but I really think with the warranty period, the screen replacement programs, you will be fine with this device. Please let me know if you have any questions on it, and watch my other reviews. I'll link them below, but it's held up very well. You know my one-hand ability hacks and everything like that to read the top left corner, texting with your one hand right here. You can do all that, but why I transitioned away is because just a smaller form factor, my muscle memory on smaller slates of phones just make me that much faster, whether it was the Apple operating system or Android and the Galaxy One UI on for the traditional Samsung phones. All right, so I'm looking forward to S20. It's been a busy 2020. We'll see you and produce more videos. So we're just preparing for the Xbox Series X launch, more game launches for everyone over there. So hope that that work all shows, and I'll update you guys on everything from the new Chromebook, some cases that we got, and I'll drop those videos soon, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. All right, guys, have a good one.